Welcome to OH-Brew. I'm Craig Morris and I like beer. And in this series, I will be in search of Ohio's finest beers. With Ohio ranking 4th in craft beer production and already 300 breweries and new ones popping up all the time, we have a lot of beer to drink. Today, we'll be visiting the Wadsworth Brewing Company, located in beautiful downtown Wadsworth. Owners Ernie and Erica Joy opened their business January 6th of 2017 at 126 Main Street. This place has a feeling of a local neighborhood pub, a very friendly atmosphere which makes you feel very welcome. Ernie creates a number of tasty brews. They normally have in between 8 and 12 beers on tap, so you're sure to find a flavor you enjoy. In this episode, I will be talking to Ernie about what they have to offer here at the Wadsworth Brewing Company, and he will tell us how they got started, show us a little bit of the brewing process, then we will sample some of the fine beers, and of course, always talk to some of the clientele. All right, welcome to OH-Brew. I'm Craig Morris, and joining me on this episode is Ernie Joy. Ernie, thanks for having us today here at the Wadsworth Brewing Company in downtown Wadsworth. Got a lot of, some nuances and some little bit of history and everything in this town, and I'm sure that they're pretty glad to see a watering hole like this here in Wadsworth.
They were pretty excited once they knew what was going on in here. We became popular way before we even opened the doors.
All right, give us a little bit of background. Where are you from? How'd you get here? That type of thing.
I'm from the Marblehead Lakeside area. My wife Erica's from near Alliance. We met at Kent State, moved around a little bit after we graduated, and then found the town of Wadsworth to just stop by home and raise our son at. So we've been here for the last 20 years.
All right, so in a golden flash, we're going to, how'd the brewery get started? Where did this come to mind with you and your wife? How did you put this together? We
started visiting breweries a few years ago. There weren't a lot of them really, 4 years ago maybe. And I think it was our Shay's opening weekend. I don't even think he'd announced that he was opened, but we were actually sitting at Aqueduct talking with Robert there, seeing his little setup he had, and he told us, hey, you should go down to the Valley, Trailhead Breweries down there, and talk to Eli. He's got another little place. And so we talked to Eli, and he said, well, they were practically in the same plaza. He said, you should just stop on over to our Shay's. He's just opening up this weekend. So we walked down there, and we ended up hitting 3 breweries in a Saturday afternoon. But, we kind of got excited thinking, all right, we just went to 3 little breweries in Akron. Do we think this is something we could do in Wadsworth?
Well, we had talked off camera earlier, and you had said that you discovered beer that it could be made when you were way young, and the seed was planted there, but this is how it kind of transpired as being, realizing you could be a brewer and do that type of thing.
I thought so. I'm somebody who likes to do things himself always. If I can figure out how to do it, I will always do it. I'm just somebody who likes to learn and do things like that. And seeing the little breweries doing what they were doing made me think, I think we could do this too.
So did you start brewing in your basement or your garage or your new place?
We started in the kitchen first, and then eventually upgraded some equipment and got moved down to the garage.
So your wife, Erica, has a flair for brewery.
She does. She didn't for a while.
She let you in the kitchen.
Well,
it indicates to me that she was all for it, or maybe she didn't know about it. You started without her?
No, she was very much involved in the process, and wasn't a huge beer drinker. Was more of a wine drinker, and we started hitting some of the beer tasting events 6 or so years ago, Brewzilla and a few of the big ones up in Cleveland, and she finally was able to start tasting other beers that weren't what I was bringing home from the grocery store. And right now she can't even like hardly touch a glass of wine. She's like, stuff's just so sweet. It's just, no matter how dry it is, it's just like drinking juice.
Ernie, tell us a little bit about the building.
The building had a fire about 4 years ago, I think, and the business who was here just decided to not stay. Landlord sold the building because he didn't have, I think, insurance either, and so the restaurant that was here, it was just going to be too much for them to bring everything back and reopen in the same location. So new landlords came in, took the plaster off the wall, and got the brick exposed, and got the floor looking nice. We actually looked at this place more than once before we were certain this was going to work for us. We weren't sure size-wise if this was actually going to be big enough. Yeah. And so we looked at a couple other places. We always wanted to be downtown here. And once we started looking at some of the space here and what we could do, I think eventually we were like, okay, this is just going to be perfect.
All right, equipment-wise, Ernie, tell us about what kind of process you use, what kind of equipment you have to deal with here.
Part of the decision for the size of the equipment was it all had to fit through a regular door. There's no loading docks, there's no big way, other than widening spaces that, openings to make it in. So a 2-barrel system was about all that could fit in here. I probably could fit a 3.5-barrel brew house up here, but I don't have the ceiling height in the basement for that size of fermenters. They're all too tall. So it pretty much was all that could fit.
So, you do a phenomenal job of taking care of 6, 8, 10 beers on tap here. So, I mean, that's, to say the least. You got people coming in with growler fills and crowlers and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to take care of normal clientele. Those are the people that you want to keep happy, obviously. But
absolutely.
Do you have plans in expanding maybe, or?
There's no I don't think we have a roadmap of expansion. We're just going to wait and see how the business does. If I still have the capacity to brew a little bit more beer each year, but not a lot more. And right now, until I hit that ceiling, I really don't feel we have a need to expand. The one thing we don't do is we don't have any kegs anywhere. So you have to come here to get it, which works fine for us.
Excellent. I notice you also have some food here to offer people. Obviously that came from who? You, her? She a good cook?
Oh yeah, very much a good cook. The food side of things kind of came out from the customers. We opened up like a lot of the other breweries, just thinking, bring your own food. That's fine. 6 months later, it's like, okay, let's meet with somebody and figure out how much food equipment and what type of menu we can kind of squeeze into this place. So it kind of went from there.
What are some of your signature foods here at Wadsworth?
The thin crust pizza is the main thing. I would say the pretzels and beer cheese are probably the most popular item we have. But we tried to keep our pizzas a bit unique. We have a pesto, a buffalo chicken. Our cheese pizza is beer cheese and pepperoni. So that's about as plain as it gets here. So if people ask for, can I get a pepperoni pizza? Do you have any red sauce? We don't, but you're more than welcome to bring one in, order from somewhere else. That happens all the time, which is fine.
Family atmosphere here, very important to you?
Yes, we wanted everybody to feel like they could, come in with their kids. We got a lot of games in the back. We have one high chair. I think maybe once or twice since we've opened some, we've needed more than one, but that usually doesn't happen. So, everybody's welcome to come in and hang out.
Entertainment? We
try, I think this particular month of May, I think we're actually going to have 3 acts. Usually we do about every other Sunday, twice a month, Sunday evenings. It's always Sunday evenings from 5 to 7:30.
I notice you also have a trivia night?
We do. That started a couple months ago, but yeah, every Wednesday.
Are you Alex Trebek?
I am not. We have somebody else come in and take care of all of that, yeah.
My favorite part of the segment, the sampling of beers here at the Wadsworth Brewing Company. Ernie, tell us about the taste profile of number 11. I mean, if you're going to name a beer, the first beer you're going to name would be after your mother-in-law?
Oh, it would be, she's blonde, she's bubbly, she's fun, she's just, really, really laid back and easygoing. But as far as the beer goes, it's what people come in when they say, "What's your lightest beer?" or what do you got that's like a regular beer? And this is what we always have for them. So it's light, it's malty, it's not bitter, it's just goes down very, very
ale?
easy. It is an ale.
Just
All
heavier,
more ales
maltier
right now.
finish, maybe?
Little malty on the finish. It's been a while since I've had it. It's because I normally drink IPAs.
Wow, that's a good beer. And then the next one we have is Nutty Lou. So you have Thelma Lou and Nutty Lou. Please tell me they're not related.
No, they're the same person, but
Okay.
the peanut butter blonde came out of what we call our test batch Sundays. We do small keg infusions, and just the regular blonde ale just works great to accept just about any flavor that you throw at it.
So it does contain nuts?
It does contain nuts, yes.
Okay.
So if you have an allergy, don't drink it.
Yeah. All right. And then moving along to number 12, the Town One Rye. It's an IPA. I love IPAs.
I love them too. This is not a little bit citrusy, but a little bit of the rye spice. It's kind of just right, if you don't want something too hoppy, but just a little unique over a regular pale ale.
So more little citrusy.
Just a little bit, yeah.
A little bit of citrus.
I think it's got the same hops in it that our pale ale does, just a little different in the malt bill.
Okay. And then the River Styx Monster. Your big booming IPA.
This is my favorite. As far as IPAs we have, it's one of the most popular. It's just got the most. To me, the flavor and aroma are just so. I don't want to call it pungent and in your face, but they're just, and it drinks so much easier than a 9.4% beer does. It goes down way smoother than it probably should, and.
Well, that's a good thing.
It can be a good thing.
The bad thing is the 9.4, it probably limits you a little bit in consumption.
It does. We got to keep an eye on people,
Yeah.
actually.
Trust me, that's why you only have a few.
Right.
A few.
Yep.
All right. You, as far as beers are concerned, you got any new ones cooking? Anything on the horizon?
I definitely have a few things cooking. We're gonna do what we think will be a unique. I haven't had a name for it yet, but it's kind of a all Medina County beer. In Brunswick, there's West Branch malts, so we're gonna get the malts from them. I already have the hops in my cooler from Barn Talk Hop here in Wadsworth. So brewed here in Wadsworth also, I think a unique all Medina County beer. So it's going to be kind of a pale ale, but should turn out really tasty.
Now, being as small as you are, do you have a hard time getting hops and stuff like that?
I don't think so. I haven't really been able to look for something that I can't find. I mean, if you're willing to pay for it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I know the brewing community always helps everybody.
Everybody's very helpful. I've helped others out, and they've helped me out, and it's worked out well.
Which is a very cool thing in the brewing community.
Oh yeah,
that's
it's
for
awesome.
Sure. All right, Ernie. Well, thanks for letting us try your beers.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Well, here's one of the funnest segments. We always talk to the clientele, and we're here at the Wadsworth Brewing Company. And joining me is
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony, tell us how you come up across this place here.
Oh well, I was up hiking in the area and I learned that Wadsworth had a brewing company. When I first came here, I was kind of surprised. When I used to come up here as a kid, there wasn't a brewing company up here. So
you big
Figured it was
craft beer fan?
I got into it after college. 2008, 2009, something like that, and it's been building ever since.
Okay. And you said you did a little bit of hiking in the area here?
Yeah, over at Silver Creek Metro Park, breaking a little sweat and come for after hike refreshments.
Well, they said that the best way to quench, the water that you lost is through beer, which is very important.
Is that scientifically proven, that fact?
You know what? I think if you boil it down to the last common denominator, that's what we'd find. But what kind of beer are you drinking today?
This is it's a Town One Rye. It's a rye IPA.
So you're really big into IPAs?
I'd like most everything, really. Just depends on the day. This time of year I don't drink too many stouts or heavy stuff. It's kind of seasonal for me. Once the weather drops down again, then I'll get back into the darker stuff. So.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us
No
on
problem.
OH-Brew.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, continuing to talk to the clientele here at the Wadsworth Brewing Company. Joining me this time is
Graham Blend.
And who's
My
this
mother.
person? Your mom.
Yes.
And you just turned 21 like a week ago.
I did, yes.
So you have been, your mom has really done a good job. And
yes.
And I'm not blowing smoke or anything, but you're drinking craft brew shortly after you turn 21. Things that are not expected of a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, in my day maybe, but here we are today. And what are you drinking from?
I'm drinking the Elijah Hopsworth.
Elijah Hopsworth. Have you had it before?
I have not. It's my first time here.
First time here ever?
Yes.
And
First time here ever.
so, which is very cool. You got the Ohio State garb on. Is there a reason why?
I actually go to Ohio State.
Go to Ohio State.
Yes, he just got home.
Got
Just
home
turned
yesterday
21.
and told her we have to go to WBC.
Would you call Ohio State a craft brew drinking establishment as far as the higher learning?
No.
No? Okay.
I would not.
Well, all right. So, but there's promise with you.
Yeah. So the city of Columbus is very into it. That's
All
why
right.
I really wanted to come here.
Well, very cool. Well, we're glad you joined us on this episode of OH-Brew, and thanks for enjoying Ohio Brew, and go Buckeyes.
Yes.
Continuing on with the clientele here at the Wadsworth Brewing Company. Joining me this episode is, your name, sir?
Mike Stockdale.
Mike Stockdale. Mike, tell us how you found this place and why you like to come here.
Well, we like going to microbreweries. It's sort of a hobby of ours. We've gone to a number of breweries in the northeastern Ohio area.
So you use this, we use something else as an excuse to come in here and
Yeah,
drink
we
beer.
go to Verizon and pay a bill.
Yeah, well,
So
everybody's got to pay their cell phone bill eventually.
Yeah, but we save on the postage.
Well, there you go. And the postage is worth the taste of beer.
Even if it didn't, we'd still be here.
I noticed you got a little bit of a sampler. Have you missed trying some of these beers?
What do you mean, miss?
Missed, like when you've been here before, you...
Oh, no, we have
these-
our favorites.
Oh,
So,
you do this to share.
yes, we
Well,
do it
that's
to
very
share.
important. Okay. Well,
And Wadsworth Brewery is one of our favorites.
can you tell us which one is your favorite?
Well,
so
the
far?
River Styx
River Styx?
is one we order every time we come.
So you're a big fan of IPA.
Actually, IPAs and hazy IPAs.
Hazy IPAs.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Well, very good. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode.
well, thanks for
And
interviewing me.
Enjoy.
I'm sure we will. We always do.
We at OH-Brew would like to thank Ernie and Erica Joy for their hospitality. Make sure to join us for another episode of OH-Brew as we're in search of Ohio's finest beers.